You know, we often think of safety as this list of rules designed to hold us back. But what if the exact opposite is true? What if real safety is actually the key that unlocks more fun, more freedom, and way better performance in everything we do? Today, we're going to flip the script on safety and show you how it can be a total game changer. All right, so let's just start with a quick gut check. When I say the word safety, especially when we're talking about sports or physical activities, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Does it make you feel excited, or is it more of a heavy sigh? For a lot of us, it's probably the second one. Yeah, for most of us, our minds jump straight to things like this, right? Restrictive gear, a bunch of warning signs, and a long, long list of don'ts. We've kind of been taught to see safety as a barrier, something that stops us from getting hurt. And look, while that's not wrong, it's really just a tiny piece of the puzzle. This right here, this is the core idea that changes everything. See, safety isn't really about limits, it's about freedom. It's the freedom to push your boundaries, to try something new, and to just completely focus on the game without that little voice of fear nagging in the back of your mind. Okay, so how do we actually get there? Well, let's start by looking way beyond the gear to redefine what true safety really looks and feels like when you're in the zone. All right, so here's the new way to think about it. It's not about what you're wearing, it's about the environment. And notice the two key parts here. Fear of injury, that's the obvious one, but also fear of embarrassment. A truly safe space is one where it's okay to mess up, where you can try and fail without feeling judged. Now that is a real game changer. And here is the payoff. Think about it. When all that background noise of what if just disappears, your mind is totally free to focus on what actually matters, improving your skills, connecting with your teammates, and just having fun in the moment. That's where the magic happens. So the big question is, how do we build an environment like this? Well, it's not just on the coaches or the refs. Nope, every single person, and I mean you too, has a huge part to play. And here are four super simple but really powerful ways to do it. First, respecting the rules. This isn't about being a stickler, right? It's about making the game predictable and fair for everybody. Then there's good sportsmanship. That creates that positive, no judgment vibe we were just talking about. And of course, using your equipment the right way and just being aware of what's happening around you. Like, did someone fall? Is the floor wet? That stuff is absolutely foundational. Okay, so individual actions are awesome, but the real magic happens when we bring it all together as a team. That's when you build a real culture of safety, one that's super strong and consistent. Let's dig into how to do that. You know, this all boils down to creating shared expectations. When everyone's on the same page about how to handle disagreements and knows the rules are the same for everyone, that builds so much trust. Even something simple like a quick pregame check of the gear and the space gets everybody in sync right from the get-go. And wow, the difference it makes is just stark. On one side, you've got confusion, arguments, that feeling of uncertainty, all that stuff that just sucks the fun right out of the game. But on the other side, you get clarity, respect, and this shared confidence. I mean, which game would you rather be playing in? All right, let's switch gears and talk about the physical side of things for a second. There is one super simple habit, one that honestly gets skipped all the time, but it is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself from injuries, no matter what activity you're doing. I'm talking about the warm-up and the cool-down. Now, they might sound kind of basic, but listen, they do two totally different and absolutely crucial jobs. The warm-up is all about gently waking up your body and getting it ready for action. And the cool-down, that's what helps your body transition back to rest, which cuts down on soreness and helps you recover way faster. And you know what the best part is? We're not talking about some huge half-hour commitment here. Nope, we're talking about just 5 minutes. Seriously, a couple of minutes of light activity before you start and a few minutes of stretching afterward. That tiny bit of time can be the difference between having an amazing season and dealing with a frustrating injury. Okay, so when we put it all together, this new way of thinking about safety, both the emotional side and the physical side, what's the ultimate payoff? I mean, where does this all lead? It leads to this, a game that's truly welcoming for everyone. Think about it. When people feel safe, not just from getting hurt, but also from being embarrassed, they are so much more likely to jump in and give it a try. This is huge, especially for people who might be a little hesitant or totally new to something. It just tears down that wall of fear and replaces it with this feeling of, yeah, I can do this. So you gotta remember this. Safety isn't the brakes on the car. It's the high-performance fuel. It's what lets everyone, and I mean everyone, show up and play their best with confidence and, actual joy. When safety comes first, you end up with less drama, fewer injuries, and just a whole lot more fun for everybody involved. All right, as we start to wrap this up, let's make it personal. I've got a few questions for you to chew on. First one, take a really honest look at yourself. When you play, are your actions helping create that safe, positive vibe we've been talking about? Second question, what happens when things don't feel right? And look, I know it takes guts, but are you prepared to be the person who speaks up? The one who says, hey, hang on a second, this doesn't feel safe. Or maybe we should slow it down. Being that person, that advocate for safety, that's one of the most powerful things you can do. And last one, let's make this super actionable. You don't have to fix the whole world overnight. Just think about one small thing from everything we just talked about that you can actually commit to doing. Maybe it's that you're always going to do that 5-minute warm-up. Or maybe it's as simple as making sure you tell an opponent, good game. What's your one thing going to be? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Playing safe, playing smart, and really truly enjoying being active. When we embrace this bigger idea of safety, we hope create a world where so many more people can feel that joy and connection that comes from just playing. Thanks for tuning in.